What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. I know you didn't expect me to see this. Y'all didn't expect to see me back again so soon, especially after the big break. But guess what? I'm here, and I told y'all I'm here to stay. Okay, I promise. Anyways, today I wanted to check out. Recently we got the announcement that Kylian Mbappé is definitely leaving PSG this season, and of course we all think he's going to Real Madrid, but I think he should weigh his options, all right? There's a lot of good options on the table here, and not just in a money sense, but also in a career sense.
Good job.
Long term, there are several good options for him here, and I think we should take those into consideration. Make sure you send this to Mbappé so Mbappé sees all his options, all right? I just want to make sure that he sees what he's missing out on, you know what I'm saying? Remember to like, subscribe, comment down below which team you think Mbappé would be best at, and then also, first person to follow me on Instagram will get a follow back. All right, let's get into it, guys. All right, Mbappé is a man of two things, right? Money and legacy, right? Those are his two. Those are the two things he really looks at when he's picking clubs. If you really think about it, and we got a few clubs here that I think can give him a mix of both. But the categories I have here for him are GOAT, icon, mid, waste, and flop. All right. PSG, because we said it already, right? If he stayed at PSG, his career would be mid, right? Like he wouldn't have. It wouldn't have been that special, right? Because nobody rates Ligue 1. That's the truth. Nobody rates Ligue 1, really. So him having an entire career in Ligue 1 would basically cement him as a good player, but not one of the greats, right? So it's mid. He's not doing much. He's getting a bag, and he's in his home country, but he's not accomplishing much. And, you know, he wants things for himself. You know, I know this man, Kylian Mbappé, he's a man of big desires, big dreams, right? And for that reason, we're going to go to the next one, which is the club most people think he's going to be at, right? I made one too many. Madrid, right? He wants to go to Madrid. He wants to create a legacy at Madrid, like his idol, Ronaldo, whatever. But the truth is, can you make a legacy at Real Madrid after so many other players have already come through, made a legacy? It's like, how much more legacy does this team really need? Like, don't get me wrong, it's a great team. He'll do great when he goes there. But he's not doing anything special, really, is he? Like, they're already doing great without him. Him going there, he's gonna do great, but he's not doing anything we didn't expect, you know? Like, it's nothing spectacular. So he's gonna get icon status, but like, I don't think that's GOAT status. I don't think that can be qualified as GOAT status. Manchester City, right? I don't think there's any chance of him going to Manchester City, but it's just a big club and they have a lot of money, right? So if there comes a chance, they could potentially make an offer for him, right? Would he be good here? Yes. Would he do anything he couldn't have done at Real Madrid here? I don't think so. So it's kind of icon status, but at the same time, I think it's a waste as well. Because, let's be real, Man City already win everything anyways. What need do they have for Mbappe? And the other thing is, if they're still under Pep Guardiola while he's there, he's going to have to play in this Pep system, which sort of minimizes certain players' impacts, right? We've seen it happen with Grealish. Grealish was a huge player at Aston Villa, and he comes here and it's like he's got no personality anymore in the way he plays. It sort of happened with Haaland a little bit. He's sort of now just a target man. He used to be pushing with the ball, driving forward. Like, he used to have a lot more going on with him at Dortmund. And now that he's at Man City, he's kind of just a role player, but he still scores a lot of goals, yes, but he's more of a role player than he is an individual. So if that were to happen to Mbappe too, like, it kind of pulls away from a GOAT status, does it not? That might be in mid, to be honest with you. There's arguments for that to be mid, just because it's similar to PSG in that way, to be honest with you. Barcelona. Is there any chance he ends up at Barcelona? No. For starters, he's never been a fan of Barcelona. He had no intentions of ever going to Barcelona. And the last reason is, of course, Barcelona have no money, right? But let's say by some miracle he ends up in Barcelona, right? It is what it is. He's gonna be good there, even if he's not supposed to be there. But he ends up there. He's still gonna be good there. That's just the truth of it. Now, I don't play favorites, right? But let's say he joined the best club in the world, right? Let's just say some chance he ends up in the best club in the world, right? It's GOAT status for me. Like, if he ends up at Chelsea, I'm being honest with you guys, okay? I'm being honest with you guys. How many GOATs, have played for Chelsea? None so far. No Ballon d'Or winners. We've had some contenders. No winners. Contenders are about as good as chicken tenders, and that has no value in the grand scheme of things, does it? So, he goes to Chelsea. He's made a legacy. He's definitely made a legacy, and they'll win things for sure. That's the thing, they'll definitely win things. The Saudis, right? Al Hilal, notoriously have been after him. They've been searching for his signature, right? All things considered, though, any player who has moved to Saudi has, anyone who's been young and going to Saudi has essentially wasted their career. They've wasted it. It's a waste. There's no point. I mean, there's no point for legacy terms. You can't even compete in Champions League. What do they have? Like the Arabic Champions League or something? It's not the same. The legacy is all in Europe. You can't leave Europe and still hope for legacy, right? It just doesn't work that way. That's just not the way it works. So, he'd have to be a flop. Or not a flop. It would be a waste. He'd make lots of money, but his career would be wasted. Yeah. I know what you're thinking. How on earth did Tottenham end up on this list? I'll tell you how Tottenham ended on this list, right? So, essentially, we need someone for the flop category. And, who else would it be? Alright? Yes, he's the best in the world, right? He can do a lot of things. Can he help Tottenham win a trophy, though? No. It's not possible. It is not possible. Alright? We've seen it a million times. Actually, we haven't seen it a million times, but you get the point. He can't. I don't know a single player who could get Tottenham to win a trophy. So, I think it's without a doubt, it's a flop. Because he's going to go there, score a bunch of goals. Maybe make some sort of legacy, but there's no trophies. So, is there legacy? No. Which means his career completely flopped. Worst move of his life. Never should have gone there. Basically. Newcastle United. There's some arguments to be made here. Yes, Newcastle is Saudi money now. But Newcastle's legacy is not deep, alright? They have history. But for the most part, as far as recent days go, they haven't got much to talk about, right? If Mbappé goes to Newcastle, he creates a legacy for the club. He does. You create a whole legacy for that team, and could make it a big seven in the Premier League. Cement them as a big seven. If Mbappé goes there, it's definitely going to be a big seven. It won't be the big six anymore, right? That's just how I see it, and I think that's fair. It would be a GOAT. Because he just made this team, this small team, or not, okay, chill out comments, not the small team, but he's made Newcastle, a formerly average team, into the best in the world, right? Just imagine, just picture it. Mbappé has just won the Champions League for Newcastle United. Legacy, cemented. And speaking of legacy, here we go. Manchester United. his GOAT played here, right? So I wouldn't rule out the possibility of him ever playing here. Do I think he wants to right now? I don't think there's a chance he wants to. But there's a chance he ends up there. And is there a chance he saves this team? Creates a legacy here, No. No. He might get some money. He could get some money out of this club. But I don't think there's any saving Manchester United right now. Because the problems they have are beyond just the fact that they have terrible players. They have a terrible manager. The ownership is in shambles. The whole facilities are terrible. There's so many terrible, poor variables about this club. I don't think he has a chance of creating a legacy. I think it would be a flop for him to go there. Don't get me wrong, he'll still score a bunch of goals, right? He'll still play great, but nobody around him is going to be playing great because they're all terrible. Will he win trophies? Not the Premier League. Guarantee you he won't be able to win the Premier League if he's at Man United, especially right now. Arsenal. Alright, hear me out. There's legacy to be made here. There is legacy to be made. But is it iconic? Is it GOAT? Is it GOAT level status? I don't think so. You know why? Because this story's been written already with Thierry Henry, the French striker, the fast French striker comes signs for Arsenal, and then they have the Invincibles. I think it's very, very up there. Don't get me wrong. That could be very, very good. But I don't think it would be legendary. I don't think it's GOAT status because it's been done before. You see, they've had phenomenal players come through and do that before. Ballon d'Or worthy players who've come through and done that before. So I do think that would be a pretty good move for him. Of course, I don't think he's ever going to go there. But I don't think it's GOAT worthy status. You see, let's say he ends up in Serie A, right? The odds of that are pretty low, let's be real. It's pretty unlikely he ends up in Serie A. Unless, of course, he goes to Madrid, his career flops because he can't play in La Liga or something. The next thing you know, he's washed up playing at AC Milan. In which case, he's already a flop of waste, I don't think he'll ever fall off that bad. I don't think that's even possible. I don't even expect to fall off, to be honest with you. There's legacy to be made here, restoring AC Milan to their former glory. That's huge. But AC Milan already has so much history, so much legacy, I think that would be iconic, but I don't think it's GOAT worthy. And they're not going to give him as much money, That's the other thing. He's a money hungry guy. I don't think he's getting that much money from them. That's just me, though. That's my personal view on it. You understand? Bayern Munich. It's just mid, innit? It's just mid. That's 10 or so years or now before this year. Bayern Munich just win the Bundesliga for free. They get some other trophies every once in a while too. It's a cheap career. It's not magical, There's nothing interesting about it, It's mid. It's mid. I want more from him, He'll get the money, yes. He'll win trophies, yes. But it's things that everyone who goes to Bayern Munich does, It's basically just given to them at this point. So, don't know about that one. He will get his money, though, of course. And then Leverkusen here, They've built themselves a legacy this season, right? And now let's say they go on and sign Kylian Mbappé. Then they go on and win the Bundesliga for 5 more years. You see, they get some trophies from Champions League as well. Under Xabi Alonso. I'm just saying, that's GOAT level status. That is an insane script to write right there. Bayer Leverkusen just sign Mbappe and then cement themselves into the history books. out of nowhere under a new manager. Like that's a phenomenal story right there. Especially because this season they were able to do it without him. Imagine they sign him and then they do it again and again and again with the Champions League too in there. Like that would be magnifique, right? Who do I have left? I think that leaves me with one last club, all right? And I know y'all are gonna be confused, right? But just hear me out for a second, all right? Ipswich Town, right? This team's just now promoted to the Premier League, right? Imagine they sign Mbappé on a free. He's not getting paid, right? But it's because he loves the badge. And he takes the club all the way to Champions League for the next year. And then the next year, they win the Champions League. Is that GOAT? Is that iconic? How do you see it? How are y'all seeing that? Like, for me at least, that's at least iconic, right? That's at least iconic. Now let's say he wins a Premier League with Ipswich as well. Of course, the argument can be made that Ipswich don't have the players to back him. They don't have the money to pay him. They don't have the resources to even compete in some of these competitions. But, that can be solved in the future. People come in and invest at the club. They see Mbappé sign, and that's when they want to invest more money. Next thing you know, Ipswich is a big 8, because now there's 8 big clubs, because Newcastle was already... Actually, no, because Mbappe's not at Newcastle, so... Big 7, still. The Big 7 theory comes up again. And I mean, the argument can be made for basically any team in the Prem. Mbappé joins them, and then they become a Big 7. Probably except for United and Spurs, because as we can see, those clubs are beyond repair. There's just nothing you can do to save them, and they are in the pit. I'd like Arsenal to join them, but they're not there yet. So if you made it this far in the video, I'd just like to thank you for sticking it out and hearing me out, because obviously these are some crazy takes, but make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you tune in for the next video, and I'll see you guys later.
Let's go for dating, right?
Yo, call the lines. Embarrassing!